thank you everyone for coming. I'm Union Manager Davenport. We've got a special event here for you guys today. We've got our guest speaker here, but before we get started, I'm trying to say a few words here. We're here for Black History Month. Black History Month. It's not just a remembrance of the past, it's a reminder of what is possible. It's a reminder that history is not only written by those in power, but also by those who refuse to give up, those who are resilient, even when the odds were stacked against them. When we talk about Black History Month, we often begin with struggle, segregation, and injustice. And those stories matter. They matter because they tell the truth, but Black history does not begin or end with pain. It is also a story of brilliance, creativity, courage, and resilience, so powerful that it reshaped the world. Think about this. Generations of Black Americans were denied freedom, education, and opportunity, and yet they built families, communities, culture, music, science, arts, and movements that changed history. That is not just survival, that is transformation. Black history is a story of people who were told you are less than and responded by proving over and over again that they were more than enough. It is a story of inventors like George Washington Carver, who revolutionized agriculture, and thinkers like W.E.B. Du Bois, who challenged the nation to see itself honestly. It's of artists like Maya Angelou, who reminded the world that we still rise. And it's also the story of people whose names may not be mentioned or may not be known. It's the teachers who poured into the students, the parents who sacrificed everything for their children, the activists who marched without cameras, without recognition, ordinary people who did extraordinary things simply by refusing to accept injustice as normal. Black History Month asks us to do more than memorize the names and dates. It asks us to reflect on values, courage, perseverance, community, and hope. It has asked us to recognize how much of the world we live in today was shaped by Black excellence, even when the excellence was ignored or erased. But here's the most important thing. Black History Month is not over. Black history is not over. It is something that's it's frozen in textbooks. It's being written right now. It's entrepreneurs, educators, scientists, artists, voters, organizers, and dreamers. It's being written every single time someone dares to believe in the future better than the present. So at this time, I'm going to hand the mic over to Ms. Spires, and she's going to introduce our guest speaker of the day.
Hi, everybody. If Mr. Davenport run for applause. Very moving. A lot of thought-provoking. So, we all know why we're here, so I just want to say good afternoon and welcome everyone to our wonderful, beautiful chapel. I'm happy to see that you all took the time out to hopefully learn and grow from today's event. There may be pictures, obviously, and video taken today, so if you do not want your picture or your likeness in photos or video, at this time, I'm going to ask you to leave. If you have not signed the media release, please go back and do so. Everyone should have already signed it before coming in. All right. So we are here together to unite in celebration of Black History Month, not only to educate, but to be educated. When you think you know everything, it's the day that you find out that you don't. We should all be here to learn from one another. So given that information, Mr. Carlos Christian was so kind to agree to come to MCI today to motivate and remind us of hope change, and prosperity. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Carlos Christian.
Wow, we've been packed it in up in this puppy, huh? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to have the opportunity to speak to the population and come back inside of Marion Correctional Institution. I just want to acknowledge just the administration from Ms. Curry, Mr. Davenport for reaching out to me and saying, man, hey, come on back in, Ms. Spires and things like that in Marion Correctional to make this possible. For me to be able to have the opportunity just to share my insight and just give brothers some light, right? It's no such thing as darkness, it's just an absence of light. So anywhere that is dark at, it's my responsibility to come up in there and provide the light. And some brothers is gonna be like, man, the light is in me and that puppy is shining right now. And that's a good thing. So only thing that's gonna happen with you after this presentation, your light is going to get brighter. As I give light, my light becomes brighter. So this is a win-win situation. We're gonna squeeze the juice out of every second that we got together today. Time is the most valuable asset that you got. And when you take advantage of your time, then that's how you find yourself in a desirable situation. That's how you can overcome any obstacle that's in front of you when you take advantage of your time. We don't waste no time around here. Not at all. It's a lot of familiar faces in the audience. I love this stuff, right? This is my assignment. This isn't something that I just went into the corner and said, well, let me try to figure out what I'm gonna do with myself and try to figure out something to do to make a living. This ain't that, right? This has been put inside of me. This is my assignment. I am assigned to this population. I am assigned to this mission. Turn the penitentiary on its head and stand the community on its feet. We do that by turning the mentality that gets us incarcerated on its head and stand the mentality that puts us in the household with our family, raising our children. We stand that mentality on its feet. It ain't start with them, it starts within. So we're gonna get busy, brothers. I am the executive director and founder of the Starts Within organization. I'm also a published author of 3 books, Prison Without Bars, It Starts Within, The Walking Logo, Taking Back My Life, Volume 2, and The Greatest Responsibility, Becoming the Parent Your Child Deserves. I am also a father of three children biologically mine, and 1 that's not my biological daughter, but I signed the paperwork to become her legal father. So I have 4 children. And I'm full-time dad too. I ain't part-time dad, I'm full-time dad. I have 3 children's mothers, so you can understand why my braids is no longer there. I'm just telling y'all what the facts are. But I got paperwork on all of my children. Me and my son, I got a 17-year-old son. I've had him since he was in the 3rd grade. When me and my wife got a divorce, I've had my son since he was in the 3rd grade. He is now 17 years old. He's about to graduate high school, over a 3.0 GPA. This brother's going to whatever college you want to go to right now. But he's looking at Findlay University. He got Ashland that accepted him. He got a couple of other colleges that has accepted him as well. And he says, you know what, Dad, I got options. And I say, I know that's right, son, because you did what you needed to do inside of high school. Now that has made the way for you to have options now into your next part of your life. That's a beautiful thing. I'm always telling my son, it's not about what I'm putting into your hands, son. It's about what I'm putting into your head, son, because what I put into your head, you will always be able to keep something in your hands. If you got the right type of mindset, you can win at life. But if you don't have the right type of mindset, then you will lose at life. It's all about the mindset. This is all a mental thing. Everything that you face in life is going to be mental. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to see that good brother with options. My daughter, she's 10 years old. She's doing her thing, and I'm telling you, she really do believe that I'm her property. She believes this. I buy snacks for the house and she thinks that the snacks are hers. I'm like, daughter, man, what you mean? I can't eat the stuff too? I can't eat the fruit? I can't eat the Debbie cakes too? Are they just for you? She's counting the Debbie cakes and saying, Dad, man, who's been in the Debbie cakes? I'm saying, man, daughter, you ain't paid for none of this stuff. Powerful thing, man. My son, the oldest, the 28-year-old, right? He's a whole nother story, but this brother right now, he married with children. This brother got 4 children. This brother can't stop, right? So I'm also a grandfather. Did I say that in the beginning? I'm a grandfather too. Y'all ain't know grandfathers look like this, did y'all? Call me Pop. You know what I mean? It's powerful to be able to see him doing his life the way that he's doing his life. Brother working his job. This brother married with children. He's not Al Bundy, but you know, working his job, just doing his thing, right? Just living his life. And I keep him on a budget too, because he, you know, the older children, they tend to, holler back at you. You got some money on that Cash App? You got some money on that Apple Pay? I don't go over 3 figures with that brother. Because he'd be like, I'm going to pay you back. I'm like, brother, I know you ain't paying me back. Like, Dad, man, I need $190. I got $15, $20, man. What you want to do with that? That's all that's on the Cash App. That's all that's on the Apple Pay, right? Right, absolutely. So my son, he's been doing this thing, so just a powerful thing. And my 17-year-old daughter that I signed the paperwork for, she's doing her thing. She actually just became a state champion for track last year. So she won as a state champion for Division I school last year for track. So it's just a powerful thing, being able to see her just excel and develop and do her thing as well, just being an asset. It's a beautiful thing to be an asset to the people that you come in contact with. Because if I'm not an asset, then that means I'm a liability. If I'm not adding energy to you, if I'm not adding value to you, then that means I'm stripping value from you. And if I'm stripping value from you, then I'm actually stripping value from myself. So the beautiful thing about this is that when I add value, I become more valuable. Brothers, this is a philosophy. I don't fight to get, I fight to give. I don't fight to eat, I fight to feed. Because I understand that once I feed, brothers, I'll never go hungry again. I can control the feed, I can't control the eat. I can control the give, I can't control the get. That's what drives brothers crazy, is because they're continuing to try to get, and they bugged out waiting for the next thing to get. Because you don't know when it's coming. You don't know how much is coming. And brothers is bugged out because they ain't got what they think they should have. But if you focus on the things that you can control, which is to give, brothers, it's always an opportunity to give. If it's inside of you, brothers, you always got a way to give. If you have the desire to give, you will always find a way to give. Even if you just given a listening ear, even if you just given some encouraging words, brothers, if you have the desire to give, you will always find the opportunity to give. This is the philosophy, this is the secret of life, is when you capitalize on the opportunity to give, brothers, you will always have. So people wonder why I fight to get inside of the prisons. People wonder that. People wonder, and when I say fight, the main person that you fight to get inside of here and do this type of work is nobody but yourself. It's the lower self that's saying, Los, man, do you really want to drive all around the state? Los, do you really want to go back in there like that? There's other things that you can be doing. I know that's right. But this is my assignment. I am compelled to this work. I have no choice. I started the organization in 2011. That's 15 years that I have spent building the Starts Within organization. We graduated 6-year-long programs. We currently got the 7th-year-long program implemented in Southeastern Correctional. We on our 34th week. And we also got the year-long program in the Walking Logo in London Correctional as well. And that's due to take place in March. So that'll be 7 and 8 year-long programs. The first programs were implemented no other place than Marion Correctional Institution back in 2013. So that's where it all started at, brothers. But it didn't just start there, and I'm talking to you about this life, and I'm telling you about my children. I'm telling you about being able to live a fulfilled life, because right now I'm doing my life's work, right? My soul is fulfilled. It's a beautiful place to be. I don't work for money. I work for pleasure. It's a beautiful thing, my brothers. My soul is fulfilled. Going inside of the juvenile facilities. After I leave here today, I gotta go to, check that, I don't got to, I get to go to Franklin County Juvenile Intervention Center, where I'm working with the incarcerated juveniles. So that means we getting the juveniles, we going into the adults, we into the county jails. This is a movement. Now, I'm not saying that because I got lips on my face either, brother. Like, for real, it is a movement. We have the opportunity to be able to do some things that has never been done. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Until the job is done, we're going to keep on pushing, brothers. I heard one brother, he said, Los, man, you going to get to sweating? And I said, man, I'm going to hold it in today. Lo and behold, I'm already there. I'm going to have to take this suit, put it straight into, I'm just going to have to go straight to the dry cleaner. Right after I get out done with the juveniles, I'm going straight to the dry cleaner. Just boom, boom, boom. I'm going to sweat this puppy out. That's what we're doing, right? So, just being able to experience life like this and doing what we do right now, and you see the cameras and everybody had to sign the media releases and things like that. The reason behind that is that we are capturing all of this on tape, and we are releasing the I Am a Walking Logo documentary, and that's going to be released in June. It's a 2-part series where you're going to be able to see all of the work that's being able to get done. So that means you're going to be able to see me going inside of the county jails, implementing the Father Within program inside inside of there, interviewing the sheriff who brings us in. So you are able to see judges and things like that who has helped to be able to get the programming inside of the juvenile facilities, and they're on the documentary. You're able to see directors of governmental agencies on the documentary. You're able to see the people who have been able to overcome prison, who was in the Walking Logo program inside of prison, and now they are released and they are living life in a different way. See, this is the thing about the brothers that you're going to see who's been able to overcome prison as well, right? Because with the Walking Logo, what I do is I set it up. It's 25 people that is inside of the class, but the way that I got it set up, it's a bit different than the way the programs are usually set up. So I use 10 slots, 10 to 12 slots is dedicated strictly to those people who have life sentences or extended sentences. 13 slots is dedicated to those people who are coming home within 18 months. And people wonder, why do you do that, Carlos? It's all about information. If we give the individuals who are doing the life sentences or the extended sentences inside of the facility the information that could change the conversation, because when your conversation changes, then your mind starts to change. Your mind starts to change, then your actions start to change. If your actions start to change, then your results start to change. So that's why it's so important to get brothers the information. So when brothers is going to the chow hall, when brothers is going to the yard, brothers is talking about real stuff. I'm talking about, man, okay, well, how do you establish a relationship with my children? Okay, how do you establish a shared parenting plan inside of the course so I don't have to argue back and forth with the mother of my child to be able to parent my children? Okay, well, how do I establish my credit? Okay, well, how do I buy a house? Okay, how do I make investments into the stock market? With different information, brothers, you start to have different options. So these are the things that we covering in the class. So that's why it's so important to get the brothers who got the life sentences in the program. But that's the difference, is that as long as they are in that facility, they will continue to be an advocate for the program. And then when it's time for them to go up to the board, to the parole board, the good brother be there. The parole board say, I heard of your programming before, Mr. Christian. You're doing good work. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Absolutely right. I tell the parole board, listen, I don't just come up here to talk for anybody. When I'm coming up here to talk, it's because I really do believe in what I just seen when I've been walking with this brother for these couple of years when they've been doing programming. So I don't fight to get people out. I fight to get people the information, because if I get you the information, then you will be able to develop the mindset that will never get you incarcerated again. 95% of the incarcerated population is due to be released. It's not about getting released, which is the greatest challenge. The greatest challenge is about staying released. The greatest challenge is about going home and taking it to another level and never getting incarcerated again. You can open the doors all day long, brothers. But if you don't have the mind to take advantage of those doors being open, y'all know the rest. 76% of the 95% of the people who get released from prison get reincarcerated within 5 years. The greatest percent of that is done within the first year. It's all about the mind. So I'm a big I'm big on let's get people the information. Because if they develop the mind, then they will never have to worry about being incarcerated again. But guess what? They will teach their children how not to get incarcerated. You see how that goes? Lil Los, who's 28 years old, just didn't be Lil Los, 28 years old, married with children, Al Bundy, for nothing. Baby Bubba ain't 17 years old, about to go into college for nothing. Charisma ain't living her best life for nothing at 10 years old. Serenity ain't about to go ahead and do college herself for nothing. You know why that is, brothers? Because I'm so focused and intentional and deliberate about getting them the information that they need to have so that they won't be the individuals that be incarcerated once they become adults. I was incarcerated at 19 years old, brothers. 19 years old. I started selling dope at 13 years old. I got hit at 19 years old with a 10-year prison sentence for attempted murder, possession of drugs, drug trafficking, possession of firearms. I was sentenced to serve my whole entire 20s here in Marion Correctional Institution, off in 7 dorm and also 2 dorm. My son was 3 months old when I got incarcerated. But I said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to redesign myself so I'll never be incarcerated ever again. Brothers seen me, how I was going up into the college. I took advantage of Marion Technical College, business management. I graduated with a 3.83 GPA in business management. I was a scholar. I went past the crash gates. I took administrative office technology, learned the computers, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. Learned the keyboard, ASDF, JKL, semicolon. I can type without looking at the keyboard, without looking at the screen. Because I was so big on, if I do this, will this create the options that I need to have so I won't get reincarcerated after my sentence concludes? Because one of the things that I seen when I was doing my 10 years is that brothers went home and then they came back in. They went home and then they came back in. And I said, man, hold up. I can't do the same exact things that they were doing, because one thing that I seen that they were doing was that they were playing dominoes all the time. They was playing cards all the time. And then once they went home, they realized that it ain't no professional domino players. It ain't no professional card players, right? I'm dead serious. They ain't out there. Matter of fact, when you go home and try to play spades with the people there, they like, why you taking all my spades? They trying to count cut books. I'm like, man, they don't even play the same. They look at you like you crazy. We went 10, fool. You trying to sit up there and cut? You over there fuming in the seat. Like, you trying to talk over the board? Hit the spades. Hit the spades. I'm just giving you an insider. They don't play the same. They got Joker, Joker, Deuce. It ain't the same type of game. But I was able to come home, brothers, and I did my time. I got released in 2007. A beautiful thing. Got released in 2007. That was when the economy was declared the Great Recession. But because of the work that I did throughout the 10 years, that laid the foundation for me to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that I had once I got released. 3.83 GPA, administrative office technology, learn Spanish, exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. I demand a lot, but I bring a lot to the table. That's it. I did a lot. And it helped me to be able to take advantage of my opportunity. $6.85 an hour. Minimum wage. Right. But I worked it like it was $40 an hour. I worked that job, I got a better job. I worked that job and got a better job. I worked that job and got a better job. Brothers, I ain't punched the clock since 2014. Now I actually pay people. It's just different. It's just different. Now I gotta think about payroll. But it all started somewhere, right? It didn't start in 2007, it started in 1997. It needed all of that time for me to become who I needed to be, to take advantage in 2007. If you would have cut short some of that time, then I might not have been the person that I needed to be in 2007. So I always look at everything as it's all good. I know that people want to go home. I know that people want to do something different, but just embrace where you are at and take advantage of your time. And when it's your time, it's nothing that's going to be able to stop that from happening. I was content when I was incarcerated. And people hear that and say, Los, you was okay with being incarcerated? I was content, meaning that I knew the work that I was putting in. I knew that I was taking advantage of every second of the day, every hour of the day, every day of the week, every week of the year. I understood that. And because I knew that I was doing that, I was content. Because I said I'm doing all that I can do. And all you can do is all you can do. And at the end of the day, all you can do is enough. You just got to make sure that you're doing all that you can do. And that's what helped me to be content. But people misconstrue content with being complacent. I wasn't complacent because I knew that I was going to be more. I knew I was going to see more. I knew I was going to have more. I just wasn't content. I was content. I just wasn't complacent. So now life is grand, brothers. I'm going on the 19th year right now that I've been home. That's eclipsing the 10-year prison sentence by almost 9 years. And I got a formula to this stuff. Where the only thing you got to do is apply the recipe and your cake will cook the same exact way. There's no special organs in my body that's not in yours. That means that I'm not the only one that can get this done. I'm not a unicorn, brothers. That means that this is available to anybody. You just got to make the decision to go after it. At the beginning, everybody will say, I want to be great. Everybody will say, I want to be free. Everybody will say all of these miraculous things. But when it comes time to pay the price, you will see the line start to get shorter. The price has to be paid. You hang your hat on the work, and you will be able to see the results. Who goes to the ground and say, feed me, ground, I'm hungry, and receive crops that come up out of the ground? No one. It don't matter how much you need the food. It doesn't matter how much you want the food. It doesn't matter how much you throw a temper tantrum for the food. It doesn't matter. Until you put seed into the ground will not produce the crops. You got to till the land. You got to water that seed. You got to do everything that you need to do. And one thing that you got to understand is that it might not show the next day, but people have a tendency of saying, I planted the seed yesterday, and they dig up the seed tomorrow because they said it ain't growing. I don't see no results from everything that I'm doing. I'm tired of acting good. I remember brothers was in the joint, they was like, I'm tired of acting good, and they just get to spazzing out. I just got denied judicial release. I'm tired of this stuff. You know how many times I got denied judicial release? My whole entire time. I walked back and forth out of them crash gates over and over again. Sometimes I waited until I got outside of the crash gates to open up my letter. Denied. I would wait before, at 12 o'clock at night, I got a Foxy, coffee and Kool-Aid for those who don't know what I'm talking about, with Jolly Ranchers, right? I would wait at 12 o'clock before I open up the letter this time. I was trying all kinds of different things. You know, the same thing that I apply to Browns games, right? I be trying all kinds of different things to get us a victory. I be working, brothers. I be working. I was getting denied just like them Browns games continue to fumble the dang on victory. It's a beautiful thing, though, brothers, to be able to get through that, because you'll be in these situations and you'll be like, when is it ever going to end? When is it ever going to end? And then when it ends, you'll be able to see another side of life because of the work that you put in, and you're going to be like, this is what it's about. When you got a chance to see your children grow, and you sitting on the back patio barbecuing and having an Easter egg hunt and things like that, because you done loaded up your children and their friends with candy, and you put $5 bills in the Easter eggs, and you seeing everybody have fun. This is when you'll be able to just taste a bit of that beautiful air. That's for you. But all of that said, I want to get to it. What did I say? I said that this was a note-taking type of presentation, right? It's note-taking time right now, right? A pen-type presentation, right? I'm taking that around the country. Man, this is a pen-type presentation. That means get your pens out, brothers. Pen-type presentation. Good. Y'all ready? The name of the presentation today is Top Priority. Top priority. The only way that we're going to be able to experience the life that we want to have, brothers, is if we prioritize our lives. We got to prioritize our lives. And a lot of times, brothers, our priorities are not in order. And when your priorities are not in order, then that's when you will get chaos. That's when your life will become chaotic, because you got the priorities that are not in order. And the only reason why they are not in order is because we haven't taken the time to prioritize our lives. Victory is had by those who prioritize their lives. You are able to be an asset, not a liability, when you prioritize your life. You will be a light when you prioritize your life. And this is something that has to be done by only you. That means only you can prioritize your life. So I'm going to give you the 5 top priorities that has helped me to be able to tell you all of the things that I've just told you. If I was Bill Gates and I came into the facility and you said that you want to start up a business, would I be the person to talk to? If you want to start a business and I'm Bill Gates, would you want to talk to me? If you want to start a business, but I was the chef of the decade, would you want to talk to me? If you want to start a business and I was the chef of the decade, you would want to talk to me. No. Right, because I'm going to teach you recipes. I'm not going to teach you the dynamics of business. That means if somebody has done what you want to do, it would be wise to get next to them, because success leaves clues. And I'm going to give y'all brothers everything I got, because again, your success doesn't threaten mine. Your success only accomplishes my mission. Top 5 priorities. Number 1, and they are in order. My number 1 priority that I have, that I stick to, none other than God. God is my number 1 priority. The reason why God is my number 1 priority is because, again, I have the opportunity to do life. I've been given the gift of life, everything in me. That means that I don't have to think to breathe. I don't have to think for my heart to beat. I don't have to think for my organs to function properly, for me to be able to speak to you right now. All of this is done without my approval. So it has to be in higher power that is putting everything together. Your lungs inflate, deflate, without you even thinking about it. It's on autopilot. Matter of fact, all of the things that had to come into alignment for conception to even take place, for you to even be here, all of the things that had to come into alignment, that means that everybody who was here is supposed to be here. That means nobody stepped down to the face of the earth and said, let me figure out what I'm going to do on the planet real quick. I'll pull one over on God. He'll never know. That means that if you are here, no matter how you got here, no matter how your family has been, no matter what it was, whoever is here is supposed to be here. So then that means if you are supposed to be here, that means it's work for you to do while you are here. Because that means that something has been placed inside of you to offer the earth to make it a better place. You are here by design. Your left side is different from your right side. All of the fingerprints on your hands are different. Your DNA is restricted to just you. It has not been a DNA like yours before you. It will not be a DNA like yours after you. You are one-on-one. Anything that is a one-on-one has got to be valuable. You have been created, brothers, for times such as these. So God is my number 1 priority. So I want to make sure that when I'm moving and what I'm doing and when I'm speaking, I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with that God that I believe that put me here. So that's why when I interact with people, I want to make sure that they see a resemblance of God through our interactions. That's why I don't shortchange nobody. That's why I give people everything that I got. That's why I don't look down on nobody. I don't look up to nobody. I look eye level with everybody. Because the same God that created me created you. I will be doing a disservice to the God that created me when I shortchange the brothers that I interact with. I make sure that I take time to listen to my T.D. Jakes, Miles Monroe. I listen to these brothers because I want to get more in depth into scripture so I can have an understanding, so I can move like I need to move. That's my number one priority. So I don't let nothing trump that, because I'm not willing to separate from God for nothing or nobody. I'd rather be at war with the world and at peace with God than to be at war with God and at peace with the world. So I'm not into all of the follows and the views and social media and stuff like that. I'm more into that. God, my number one priority. Number two priority. Somebody take a guess, what's the number two? Family? My health. My health is my number two priority, brothers. My physical health and my mental health. My brother, he fell short, man. He was in his late 30s, heart failure. His daughter right now is in Howard. I just went down to Howard in November. I just went to Howard. She just got enrolled into Howard, right? He's been passed away since she was about 12 years old, but I've made sure that I pick her up from Cleveland and bring her to Columbus every single summer, but now she's in college, so now I say, I'm going to college to, have lunch with you and welcome you in just like he would. He couldn't do the journey no longer because his heart, high blood pressure. So that's why I always tell brothers, know your numbers. Health is important. Know your numbers. Know what your cholesterol is. Know what your blood pressure is, because your blood pressure will be sky high and you not know it, and it's doing something to your organs. Your cholesterol will be all out of whack, you not even know it, and it's doing something to your organs. See, people think ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance will get you killed. People be like, as long as I don't know, I'm good. No, brother. You can say all day long, I didn't know that if I jumped off of the 12-story building, that once I hit the concrete, then my body would all break up. Jump off of that 12-story building and hit the concrete and see if not knowing will be an excuse that you can use for your bones not to break. You will go splat. So I would encourage you to get in the know. Ever since I seen my brother go into the ground, and then 6 months later, my other brother went into the ground, heart attack, in the bed. His wife called me. Man, finally he said, man, it just felt like an elephant was on his chest. He dead. Heart attack. I went to the doctor, I got my blood pressure, I see what's going on with my blood pressure. Oh, you almost there. I'm glad you came in. You need to start to make some lifestyle changes. Before that, I was going into the gym and I was just lifting weights. Brothers, now I'm on something totally different. I'm on the treadmill. I got that puppy at 7.8 speed for 7 minutes. I'm getting it in, right? And then I go ahead and walk for 2, right, at 4.0, and then I take it back up to 11.0 on the speed, right, for a minute, right? Then I take it back down to 4.0, and then I take it back up to 7.8 on incline. Brother, it seems like I'm training for the Browns. Man, I'm in the best shape I've ever been. I'm in the best shape I've ever been. I'm taking my vitamins every single day. I'm drinking shakes every day. I take a can of beets, a couple handfuls of kale, 2 bananas, strawberries, mango, and blueberries. And now I'm using ginger root, cutting that up, putting it in there, putting a teaspoon of olive oil in there, mixing that thing up, and I'm downing it. My children is saying, that stuff look nasty. I say, I'd rather pay the price right now for this taste than to pay the price later. See, one thing people don't realize, you're gonna pay regardless. And it would be best that you pay in ounces instead of paying in tons. If you pay later, it will cost you tons. If you pay now, it will cost you ounces. So the little nasty taste is ounces. But when I'm able to move around and people got flus and colds and things like that, and that stuff is bouncing off me like I'm X-Man or something, and they say, man, Dad, you ain't catch the cold? No, I ain't caught no cold. And when I do catch a cold, that stuff be going so fast. My immune system is on 1,000. Brothers, I feel great. I felt like Tony the Tiger when I just said that. I feel great, brothers. Like I ain't just talking. I mean that stuff, but I'm intentional because I made it a priority. So then that's why I make sure that even though I got a couple of programs going on at the same time, it doesn't matter. Even though I got, man, full-time dad, I got to get my daughter's lunch ready before she go to school. I got to make sure she get off the bus. It doesn't matter. I got to go and speak into institutions. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make sure that I still work out 3 times a week regardless. I'm going to make sure that I still go ahead and drink my shakes regardless. I'm gonna make sure that I take my vitamins regardless, because what? Health is my number 2 priority, and I act like it. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to actually support what you're saying. Number 2 priority, health. Physical, mental health. You got to make sure your mental health is tight. So then that's why I surround myself around brothers that can give me some high-level conversation. Because if you're around the wrong people, they will tell you everything that you ain't got. And then after you leave their presence, you will be like, I ain't got nothing. That's because of the people that you are around. And when you feel like you ain't got nothing, it messes with your productivity. So I'm around people that talks about the possibilities. Because it helps with my mental health. If I can't find them, then I'm on YouTube listening to people who talking about it. I don't compromise because my mental health is everything. I got to make sure I'm doing things to intentionally take care of it. Because if I'm not doing things to intentionally take care of it, it won't be taken care of. It won't be strong enough to face the storms that's going to come at you in this world. See, when your mental health is right, then that means when the storms come, you'll be able to still stand because your foundation has been built on a rock. It has not been built on the sand. When it's been built on the sand, then that foundation will submit to the storm. My mental health, brothers. I wake up in the morning and I say what I do have, not what I don't have. I wake up in the morning and I say, I got everything that I need. Everything I need, I got. Let's get busy. Everything I need is inside of me. I got everything that I need. Now it's time to get busy. Mental health, health. Number 2, health. Number 3, priority. My immediate family. When I say immediate family, I'm talking about the ones that I made, that I chose to be my family, my children. They my number 3 priority. I heard a rapper, Yo Gotti, what he said. He said this. He says, you know, when you on the path and you trying to be successful and you trying to get this record label off the ground, you'll look up and years done pass and you don't have no relationship with your children. He says you're not intentional with what you're doing because you think that because you're sending home money and things like that, that it's everything that needs to be done. But you have missed Christmases, you have missed birthdays, you have missed all of these events, special occasions, because you have been out on the road, because you have been trying to put together this company. I didn't realize how much regret I would have when I see my children grow up as adults and now I don't have the relationship with them that I desire to have because I wasn't focused on that. I thought that what I was doing was actually doing for them. It was the good thing to do, and it was good to do, but it wasn't the right thing to do. So I want to make sure that my children is a number 3 priority. Because I don't want to look up after me done been pushing this movement, me lighting brothers on fire, me doing all of this work, and then my children will say, who is Dad? Because I haven't spent the time with them that has been necessary to establish the relationship. Remember, time is the most valuable asset. And when you take that time and invest it into the relationship between you and your children, then that's how that relationship can be strong. But you must take time and invest it into that relationship. But it has to be a priority. And if it's not a priority, then other things will grasp a hold of your time. So I make sure that every Thursday I do movie night with my children. Remember, I'm full-time dad. I got my son 5 days of the week. The 17-year-old, he go to his mom on the weekends. I got my daughter. We alternate week on, week off. Me and his mother alternate week on, week off. And she go to her mother's on the weekends. Y'all see I got my weekends, right? I got my weekends. I just need to have my weekends. My daughter will be like, Dad, man, let me go ahead. Let's just go ahead and we might as well just go ahead and go through the weekend and everything. And I'll be like, man, we can't sell your mom out like that. I can't hog you all to myself. You need to, I don't want to, I would, but you know, it's only fair. It's only fair. Brothers, like, they different. I get to Friday and be like, you got to get up out of this house, man. I need adult time. I don't want to play around no more, right? We got to get you back to your mom's, right? But I say that to say every Thursday is going to be a child in the house to do movie night. So either it's going to be me, my son, and my daughter, or it's going to be me and my son, right? But I'll do movie night every Thursday, and I don't allow nothing to jump over that. It's going to be movie night every Thursday. My number 3 priority is my immediate family, my children, that I made a decision to have. So I make sure that I honor that priority by giving it time. I'm at all of the basketball games that my daughter plays. I'm at all of the football games that my son was playing, right? I'm making sure that I'm there because they are my priority. That's my number 3 priority. I cook dinner before I go out, so then I know that they got food when they come home. If I know that I'm gonna come home a little bit later, I know that they got food, they can get started. My 17-year-old can just go ahead and help out and do what he needs to do, right? So that's what I do to honor my commitment, and that's what I do to honor my priority, but I had to make it a priority. It was a director, she says, hey, because we were supposed to go to Kentucky. She says, hey, let's go to Kentucky. We're supposed to go to Kentucky, and I'm supposed to drive. And she says, we got to be there early in the morning. And I said, man, I understand that, but I got the bus, and I got the bus. We do our handshake. Me and my daughter, we do our handshake every day because she goes to school from my house, right? So I see her even on the weeks that she's not with me. I see her still because she got to get on the bus from my house, right? So we do the handshake. But that's a commitment. So I say, I can't get on the road that early, director. We're going to have to wait until after I get her on the bus, and then we can go. But that's my priority. That's number 3. Because she was in number 4. My number 4 priority is what? My extended family, my friends, like this is my number 4 priority. The community, right? This is my number 4 priority. This right here, you are my number 4 priority. Now, brothers, don't leave and be like, man, I'm this brother's number 4 priority, right? Don't take it like that. Just know that you're in the front row of the show. The top 5 is the top 5. This is what runs my life. So that's why I do the work that I do. That's why I say, man, I'm coming in here, I'm implementing programming. That's my number 4 priority. Because I said that if I figured out a way, a formula to be able to get it done, then there's no way that I could take care of my brethren if I'm not giving my brethren the formula that I have figured out on how to get it done. So that's my responsibility. Miss Curry, she said, man, hey, Carlos, man, you're doing the I Am a Walking Logo documentary. She says, man, what's the target audience? I said, they're incarcerated. I said that without blinking an eye. And this is a time that we are in where content and people trying to figure out how to get views and things like that. Because views, you can monetize off that stuff, right? Right, no. I'm like, man, I want to flood the prisons with this content. I want it to be in every facility in the United States of America. I'm figuring out Adobo now to put it on tablets. Adobo is the YouTube of the prisons. I'm not figuring out YouTube, I'm figuring out Adobo. When somebody told me, Carlos, you know you on Adobo, I said, how am I on Adobo? I ain't even know about no Adobo. Oh, I did an interview with somebody, and they done put me on Adobo. It got me to do some researching. What's this Adobo thing? I'm about to flood Adobo like crazy. It's going to be home buyers classes on Adobo. It's going to be how to build your credit on Adobo. It's going to be inspirational speeches on Adobo. It's going to be how to get a shared parenting plan on Adobo. I'm about to flood Adobo like crazy. We're going to go from here to California. Adobo. They say, man, this is how much you got to pay to put it on there. I don't care, man. This is my number 4 priority. I'll pay Adobo to put this content on y'all's platform so y'all can have access to it. I'm on it. You my number 4 priority. You my number 4 priority. Why wouldn't I do that? I know what my priorities are, so it's not even a question that needs to be asked to me. I already know. My priorities answer my questions for me. I'm going to get it done. So be expecting a heavy starts within movement on Adobo. Coming shortly. They gonna be like, man, ain't nobody out on the yard no more. Brothers gonna be locked into a Dovo. Brothers gonna be at their bed areas, in their cells, watching a Dovo. The yard gonna look like the old West, the old Wild Wild West. It ain't gonna be nobody playing basketball. Brothers gonna be on a Dovo. They like, what's happening with a Dovo? Carlos done flooded a Dovo with some new content. Somebody was saying, yeah, Carlos, if you get the prisons, man, you can get streams. And I said, brothers, I'm not trying to figure out how to get streams. Like, Dovo ain't paying you, brother. You know, people always trying to figure out a way to turn it into, you know, to monetize it. I done heard brothers say, man, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna tell them a little bit. I ain't gonna tell them too much because I want them to bring me back. Keep the money coming. I tell brothers, I'm gonna give you everything I got while I'm here. And when I see you the next time, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you everything I got the next time. Sweat and all. I ain't leaving nothing left. Everything gonna be left here. I'll replenish on 23. And when I get to the juveniles, I'm gonna give them everything I got. Number 4, priority. I take this movement serious. I take you serious. I take me serious. I think about, what if I had the opportunity to be able to see somebody who has been able to overcome 10 years in prison and been home for 19 years when I was doing my 10 years? How great would that have been? How much light would that have lit inside of me? That's what drives me. That's why I'm in level 2 snowstorms, driving to Indiana, going to Lancaster, going around the state. I'm on assignment. You are my priority. Number 5. Number 4 is the community, is my extended family, the community extended family. That's aunts, uncles. So sometimes the aunts and uncles try to jump over into number 3, and I'll be like, you can't jump to number, I gotta get them back to number 4. You know, right? You gotta make sure that people will stay, because people gonna try to jump. But the management is up to you. Number 5, my number 5 priority. Y'all ready? Money. Money is the number 5 priority, right? So that means that I make sure that I make sure that my money works for me. I invest. I don't think, when I get money, I don't think about, man, what can I buy? I think about, what can I invest in? See, I look at my money as being employees, right? So I want my employees to go out there and work, right? To create more of them, right? So I invest. So I'm into, Charles Schwab. You get a Charles Schwab account, you get you some stocks, right? Right now, I'm really big on NVIDIA. Giving you some good stuff here, brothers. NVIDIA. Now, I ain't no financial advisor. Disclaimer before brothers sit up there and tell, man, he done had me lose all my commissary. This brother told me to get some NVIDIA. BlackRock, right? I'm rolling with Lyft right now. Uber, Lyft, right? So these are the things that I'm rolling with. And Bitcoin and Ethereum. So them is the two cryptocurrencies that I invest in. Because I believe that Bitcoin is going to be 250,000 in a minute. Bitcoin. Ethereum, ETH. See, because I got people that I'm connected to that are very wealthy, and the wealthy success leaves clues. And what they tell me is that, Carlos, man, as long as you just rely on the money that you work for, then you're never going to get to that level that you need to get to. So I said, okay, I get it, I understand. And they said, you got to get into investing. And I've been into investing for about 6 years now. And I done took some lumps, bumps, and ooh-wee knots, right? But again, I haven't stopped doing the investing. It's been very important. I'm also big on establishing credit, making sure that my credit is right. Because I don't want to be spending more for things than I got to because I got bad credit. Home ownership is important. You got to pay for where you lay anyway. Why not pay for what you own? Because when you rent, you're just throwing the money away. It doesn't come back. You can rent and pay that rent for 35 years. You won't even get the security deposit. I got a divorce. I left my wife her house. Our house. I left her the house, is what it is. 6 years ago, I bought another house for me, myself, just me. That puppy went up in value by $200,000 in 6 years. No, about 160-some thousand in 6 years. Home ownership, brothers. Home ownership. Money moves. The issue with not understanding what your priorities are, it gives way for your priorities to be out of order. So when I was 19 years old, my priority, numero uno in my mind, was money. And I said, if anybody come in between me making my money, I would lay your doggone butt down so fast. And that's what led to my 10-year incarceration. And when I was doing my 10 years of incarceration, I said, was money really my number one priority? Did it need to be my number one priority? Because I'm missing my son like crazy. My health is more important than money. If somebody says, man, I will give you $1 billion, but you got to die tomorrow, will you take the $1 billion? But when you don't know, then you will move as such, and you will say, I'll risk my life for the money. I'll sacrifice my life for the money. I'll separate from my children for the money. I'll separate from God for the money. When you don't know, when it's not clear, and you are not putting everything in its individual places, it's up to you to put them in their individual places for them to be what they need to be in your life. I didn't do that, and that's what led to my disaster at 19 years old. Now I don't let money jump. None of that stuff. So then that means they can say, hey man, come in here and tell a good brother some stuff that's gonna keep him locked up. I'll give you $100,000. I'll tell them, listen, money is my number 5. Number 4 is them. Money is after them. So I can't sell them out for number 5. So when I'm doing this work, I'm not thinking about money. I'm thinking about, can the job get done? That changes the game. And it gives me a fulfilled life, brothers. Have your priorities in order, and your life will be fulfilling. You want to be aware. People lack awareness. And the more clearer your priorities become, the more brighter the path becomes. So when I come in here and give information, I'm trying to move the needle, to change the direction in people's lives. Because I understand that you won't reach that destination until years down the line, maybe. But you can change directions with one word. That means that you can be facing in this direction, and I could have said something that has clicked for you today, and you will say, uh-oh, I'm doing it different. I feel different, I'm thinking different, and I'm about to start walking different. You done changed directions off of one presentation, off of one word, and that's why I give it everything that I got. I don't take it for granted because I understand that one word can change the direction of a person's life. So I'm appreciative and grateful for everybody that came in here today and said, I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time with the good brother Los. I appreciate y'all, brothers, because I couldn't do this without you. When I leave these facilities, man, I'll be on level 10. People be looking at me and saying, brother, what you got going on inside of you? I done just left the hungry. I love being around the hungry because I'm hungry. I can't stand to be around those with those so-so appetites. So-so appetites, just get it away. I need the people that's hungry. And I say the people that's in the building today are those that are hungry. Insatiable appetite. Starving. Because I need my hunger to stay where it's at. Because the moment that you stop being hungry is the moment that you transition into becoming food. My juveniles, Ramal used to be like, brother used to be like, I had Ramal in Indian River. And they would be like, after I said something profound like that, brothers would be like, bars. That was bars. That was bars. Brothers, we gotta keep on moving. We gotta keep on moving. Understand that. When you see me out there doing what I do and you get clips and videos and things like that, you see me doing what I do, know that I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for us. Know that I am you, you are me. Know that I'm continuing to lay the foundation for everybody to walk on who has our backgrounds. It's not about the background check, it's about the right now check. And the only thing that we checking for is your appetite. When I'm looking brothers in their faces, I'm seeing if the appetite is there. Because we got work to do. It's people that's going down the paths that we have already been down that does not serve anybody any type of good. the best people to get them to abandon that path that they are traveling down is us. We got work to do. Utilize your time to do what needs to be done. You got people, community, that's counting on you. Live up to the design that you have been put in, brothers. You've been designed to be great. Don't settle for nothing less. It's not about what you did, it's about what you're doing that dictate where you're going. That's the game changer. My name is Carlos Christian. Before change can be seen externally, change must be done internally. It starts within. Turn the penitentiary on its head, stand the community on its feet. I am a walking logo. That's my time.
Could you help me?